The Olympics kick off Friday. One of Cincinnati's flagship companies has been gearing up and is ready to reach the top. On the Business Courier front page centerpiece this week, how P&G can win the gold in Rio. Procter & Gamble is favored to bring home marketing gold based on ads rolled out more than 3 months in advance of the start of the games, like the latest installment of the Thank You Mom ads featuring Ohio native and gymnast Simone Biles. More than a dozen Procter & Gamble executives plan to be in Rio de Janeiro to support a massive marketing effort linking the Cincinnati-based company's brands to the Olympics.
Rio Olympics are expected to reach 3.9 billion people. 75% of our consumers claim to be Olympic fans. So it's a tremendously popular property. It reaches so many people around the world. That's what makes it different, and it only happens every 2 years.
The risk of something going awry in Rio is dwarfed by possible rewards for P&G, which spends more than $8 billion annually on advertising to promote the sale of consumer goods in more than 180 countries. So how will P&G know if its huge investment pays off? Business Courier reporter Barrett Brunsman wrote the story and joins editor Rob Dahlmeyer in the studio with what he found. Barrett and Rob.
Hey, thank you, and Barrett, thanks for being here. The stakes are huge for P&G, but they have been involved with the Olympics for a long, long time. What makes this year different?
P&G has ramped up its investment in digital marketing related to the Olympics. So it's not just people watching on television to see the P&G commercials, but you're also going to find a lot of folks who might be looking at their tablet computer to look up stats on athletes and using their smartphones to text friends or family to say, hey, did you see what just happened? So P&G is actually rolling out ads on all 3 of those types of platforms to make sure they grab your attention during the Olympics.
So Peg mentioned some of the stats so far about viewership, and you have a great story in this week's paper that really gets into that. But how does P&G find out whether or not this was successful? How do they track it or measure it?
In the past, there have been surveys done of people who watch TV commercials, and they're asked point blank whether those were effective, whether they pulled at their emotions, whether they enticed them to want to buy a brand. Nowadays, Rob, because you have such a big investment in digital, which is about a third of all the P&G ad budget goes to digital these days, they can track those metrics. For instance, in this case, they know that more than 90 million people globally viewed the early commercials that rolled out related to the Olympics for P&G, and that was just in the first 12 days, long before the Olympics even start.
So I was a little surprised that the Thank You Mom, it was such a huge hit when it came out years ago. I was a little surprised that P&G has stuck to that. Should I have been surprised? I always just feel like, you know, you got to try something new, and but that they're not on this one.
Rob, one of the P&G executives who'll be in Rio is Mark Pritchard. He's the chief brand officer. He's the top ad guy who greenlights the campaigns, and he mentions that they want to raise the creative bar. So these are new types of Thank You Mom ads. They're a new generation, if you will. And the theme is Thank You Mom Strong. The whole idea is to show how moms can empower their kids throughout life to help achieve their dreams, perhaps like these Olympic athletes. So there is a different tone to the commercials. They still will make you want to cry. However, the Gillette brand of P&G has a little darker overtone to their Olympic ads. You're going to see a hellhound chasing a decathlete down the road with his fangs bared, trying to grab him as he runs him down. So the point being, it's a lot easier to shave your face, I guess, than to train to be an Olympic athlete.
That's right. Well, it was a great story in this week's paper. Thank you so much for being here.